Hello, hello! My name is Kallista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, we were doing another round of party camp talks. We had just finished speaking to Liliana, and then we were going to move on to Wynne. You got anything to say?
What's on your mind?
Are you feeling better now? I was just thinking about being a Grey Warden. I'd like to ask you something about the Circle, nothing I shouldn't have disturbed you. Are you feeling better now?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
I suppose you were just tired then, like you said. I like making sure all my companions are well. If you don't keep up, we might have to leave you behind. Please let me know if there is anything I can do. Yeah, how do I put this? A good leader serves their people. And I think Artin truly believes that. Yes, she's the one in control. It's kind of like Wynne was saying, power does bind you. And I think, yeah, if Wynne needs anything, then Artin, you know, well, she doesn't really have a door right now, but her theoretical door is always open. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do.
Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones.
Anything else?
What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the Circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Why didn't you want to stay at the tower? How did you become a mage? What was life like in the tower? Nothing right now. As I've mentioned, one of the main reasons that Artin has kind of been very neutral on mages is because she hasn't seen any abuses by the Templars. She's seen a bunch of people, like Irving, Wynne, both very pro-Circle. The only people she's met who haven't been are Morrigan, who's an apostate, so obviously she's going to be like, the Turkles are terrible, and that one mage who was like, the Templars were always watching, which, again, doesn't really say much of anything. So again, we are going to get a very biased viewpoint from Wynne, but we might as well ask. What was life like in the tower?
I would be lying if I said it was easy. First, there were rules, and we were constantly watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. Then there was the study of magic. We had to cast the spells just so, control the effects completely. A single word spoken incorrectly, a gesture out of sync, and lack of focus. And we needed to have perfect focus, or we would be in danger.
At least you learned the dangers of magic from the Circle. That sounds horrible. Danger from what? Does it sound horrible? Again, she's not like, we were watched to make sure we behaved appropriately. That's what guards do. In cities, every citizen is watched to make sure they behave appropriately. If you murder someone, you're going to go to prison. And I get this, what she's saying here is true. Mages, that I will admit, mages need to have perfect focus to not be in danger. That's something they deal with. That's something that the average citizen does not need to deal with. But again, she's not saying anything that's like, oh, those poor people, they suffered so much. Okay, I think Artin's just very confused on mage rights. You know, there's loads of people saying, it's horrible, but then when she's like, well, where's the evidence of it being horrible? Oh, it's horrible. I've got all of these people saying that it was actually pretty decent. Can you just say something other than, it was horrible? So, not number 2. We haven't heard anything horrible. Danger from what? We saw what dangers. Yeah, I think Artin views, in Artin's mind, magic is very valuable because it could do a lot of damage to an opposing army. I do think she, though, excuse me. I do think she acknowledges, though, that magic is dangerous to the caster. At least you learned the dangers of magic from the Circle.
Without the Circle and my mentors, I would not have been where I am today. And there was joy in life at the Circle. The joys of fellowship, in knowing that you were not alone in your struggles. In spite of everything, I was happy in the tower, and I loved it.
There's nothing else I want to discuss right now. Something about Wynne that pisses me off, and it's not about Wynne. It's more so about Vivienne, because Wynne is equally pro-Circle. But the fact that she kind of, oh, hello, dear, these are my views. Oh, you have opposing, oh, that's... Like, because she's kind of slightly more simpering. And, oh, what a nice old lady. But when Vivienne stands there and says, I like the Circle, I think the Circles are a good thing, and you have an opposing view, okay, I don't give a shit. Everyone, oh, she's a bitch. She's a bitch and she hates magic and she hates mages. And I'm like, she never said any of that. She said she liked the Circle. She never said she hated her fellow mages. Because I don't think she does. It's... People tend to pick and choose with Vivienne. They pick all the negative examples and times when she was really bitchy, but then there are other, like... If you take Vivienne to the house in Redcliffe with all of the Tranquil skulls, she is genuinely devastated. She is genuinely, oh my god, I thought the Tranquil would be safe with the rebels, and instead this is what's become of them? Oh my god. And everyone ignores that. Everyone ignores the fact that she says, please, protest injustices by the Templars, do that. Everyone ignores that as well. Everyone's, oh no, she's really pro-Temp, because apparently you can't be pro-Templar and anti-injustice. That they're not mutually inexclusive. Exclusive? You can be pro-Templar and you can think the Templars are scumbags. I'm kind of in that viewpoint, really, to be perfectly blunt. It aggravates me, just the difference in treatment that Wynne and Vivienne get. Because I do have a very large soft spot for Vivienne. And Zephyron?
Here I am.
Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Why did you want to leave the Crows, exactly?
Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it?
So, you're simply bored? You didn't choose to join the Crows, but what would you rather do? We know that he didn't choose to join the Crows. He was bought off the slave market, I believe. But what would you rather do?
Now that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die.
And that system works? That sounds awful. So you had a hard life, big deal. That does sound awful. Again, I'm going off the idea that in Artin's culture, children are very important because of, you know, the dwarves have fertility issues. So again, the idea of buying a child and, you know, like, oh, if they do badly, then they die, oh well, is like just not something that would enter her brain. That sounds awful.
Oh, I don't know about that. The Crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a Crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. Gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining.
So what is it you fancy exactly? You sound like you've been spoiled. Why didn't you just leave then? I think I understand. Doing what is expected of you always. Artin can understand that. As dwarven royalty, she understands that. Means being expendable. That I don't think she understands. The only person she's ever been expendable to was, as it turns out, her dearest little brother. And again, I think the last part of this sentence, again, Artin understands that bit. As I was saying before, power does confine. I think I understand.
As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go.
You think that will change? And when you get the first chance to betray me, won't the crows eventually find you? I'm happy to have you along. Ooh. Not number 2. We don't want to give him ideas. You think that will change? Zevran doesn't seem like the type of fella who could be tied down easily. Well, in one way maybe, but in terms of personal freedoms, no. So yeah, I think if he got unhappy enough with us, he would just leave. I don't think, this might be terrible of me, but I don't think his oath means much. We do want to make this guy feel welcomed. We don't trust him, but I think we do welcome him into the fold. I'm happy to have you along.
And here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Ooh, +10, where you at? +19, still neutral.
Here I am.
Care to answer some questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
Do you actually enjoy being an assassin?
And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree?
You've never killed an innocent. I disagree completely. No, you're probably right. Again, 1, given that Artin herself is an assassin, and 2, dwarven politics is extremely cutthroat, I think she could agree completely. I don't know why I'm stammering so much today, excuse me. I think she could completely agree that some people do need to be killed. Not looking at anyone in particular. Palin. Now then, what would she say? Not number 2. Number 1 is an interesting question. You've never killed an innocent?
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent? But if you're talking generalities, such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose. But it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease, or a fall down the stairs, or at the hands of a darkspawn. It's all relative in the end.
That sounds like an excuse. That's a very practical attitude. That's despicable. You're a murderer. I suppose that's true. Death does come to everyone, and... That's a very practical attitude.
Death happens, as we like to say. And when I get paid for it, death happens more often. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed. The pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands.
I take no pleasure in killing. I enjoy the violence myself. That's a bit sick. I know what you mean. So Artin was with him up until that, knowing their life is in your hands. I think Artin's good with a blade, and she knows that. She has been trained for this purpose. And why shouldn't she take pride in that she's good at what she does? It's not necessarily that she enjoys violence, it's that she enjoys the artistry of it. You know, sinking her blade in and pulling it out, and the blood spraying a certain way depending on which way her blade is angled, that kind of thing. I know what you mean.
There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Handsome elf like you, I can think of a few things. Why not? You can do whatever you like. Don't you have any other skills? No, I suppose not. Yeah, why shouldn't he go and do something different? Why not? You can do whatever you like.
Whereas I am content merely doing what I happen to be good at. It's a talent that not many come by, honestly. I don't see why I need not pursue it. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them.
Oh. Hello. The crows send their regards. Between the Tevinter Imperium, Ravane, and the Free Marches sits the nation of Antiva. Although it possesses few resources of its own, Antiva's location makes it a centre for trade in the north, and the capital, Antiva City, is the wealthiest in the world. Antiva has virtually no army. The monarchy is too weak to support one. Most Antivans would be hard-pressed even to name the current king, as the true power lies in the hands of a dozen merchant princes, each with a personal army and each locked in a constant struggle for power against all the others. Anyone would think then that Antiva would be a ripe target for invasion by one of her neighbours, but even the Qunari leave Antiva alone for one very good reason: the House of Crows. The most efficient, most feared, and most expensive guild of assassins in the world calls Antiva their home, and their reputation alone defends the borders. Zevron was the crow contracted by Loghain to assassinate Alistair and Artin. One failed attempt later, however, he found himself at the mercy of his would-be victims. They showed him unexpected mercy, and in return, he swore to aid the Wardens on their quest to end the Blight. Zevron shows an affinity for the finer things in life. Hardly a surprise for an Antivan crow, but his appreciation can be more poetic than he lets on. A simple bar of refined silver or gold, uncomplicated by a craftsman's hammer, is elegantly valuable. Okay. So we do actually have a gift for him then. Yes, the small gold bar. Zevron. Take it.
I shall treasure it. Thank you.
No worries, dude. Okie doke. Now then, Alistair, my dear.
Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Ooh, Number 3 is out, because I recognize that as a flirt line. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
I'm not gonna ask that! Oh god, is this one of the cases where if you don't ask this, then... Because I know there are other lines about the Grey Wardens. Oh, damn it. Well, I guess we have to ask this then. What would happen if we just left?
Just left? You mean just left for Elven? I don't know. If there's an archdemon, however, we're supposed to be the only ones who can defeat it. And that means the Blight would grow unchecked. Eventually, other Grey Wardens in Orlais and other lands would hear about it, and they would come to fight it, but they wouldn't come in time to save Ferelden. There's no way. I'm not going anywhere.
I've no more questions.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. Something on your mind?
Clearly, Artin is dealing with some kind of exhaustion. She needs a nap, obviously. I have some questions.
Of course.
Yeah, Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
Oh, no.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough.
I could have
Something on your
sworn
mind?
there were more questions about the Grey Wardens. I have some questions.
Of course.
Let's see. Why did you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
That's a cheap answer. Do you want to make me more angry? Did you not trust me? I thought we were friends. Don't answer then. Ooh. Not number 2. And not number 4. It's between 1 and 3. It is a cheap answer. I think... How do I put this? Artin gets the fact that Alistair doesn't want anything to do with the throne. He doesn't want to be king. She really likes that about him. But it's the fact that his lineage is important. She's not important in terms of, like, we can use this, but if Loghain knows about this, then he could be spinning all sorts of stuff in Denerim about how this is actually, you know, a ploy by Alistair to get the throne. There aren't any Darkspawn. This is actually just a Grey Warden Alistair for King rebellion or something like that. So it was important. I think she would count Alistair as a friend. Yeah, I genuinely think after all of that, she counted Morrigan as a friend. I would say probably like just before Redcliffe, before they entered the village. Like, Morrigan and Artin got on very well, and she was kind of like, I know Morrigan will have my back. I think she considered Alistair a friend after the Battle of Redcliffe. You know, he proved himself in that all-out battle with the zombies. And there was the whole, we're more familiar than I thought we were. So I think she did come to view him as a friend immediately after that. So I do think 3 is like a true statement. Did you not trust me? I thought we were friends.
We are friends. I didn't mean to... It wasn't supposed to... Oh, let me explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
It comes up, Alistair. You've been avoiding it. How about, by the way, I'm the heir to the throne. I guess I can understand that. I think she wasn't asking that because she was particularly upset. How do I put this? She's not asking this question because she's upset or hurt. She's asking this question because, from a tactical viewpoint, it was important information. And he was hiding that from her. And as the leader of the group, she needs to know these things. At the same time, again, he doesn't want to be king. And Artin can understand that they only met like a couple of months ago. He doesn't know her from a hole in the ground. She came from a hole in the ground. Like, for all Alistair knows, she could have immediately been like, let's put him on the throne, he. So, it is understandable. I guess I can understand that.
I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me likes you not knowing.
Why? What happens when people find out? You enjoyed not telling me? You don't think it was dangerous not to? Artin can guess what happens when people find out. And it's between 2 or 3. I think Alistair does understand. He said it right there. It was important for you to know. I think he understands that he did something kind of dangerous by not telling her. That last bit is very intriguing. You enjoyed not telling me?
It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I was the bastard prince instead of just being Alistair. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me.
You probably don't have a choice in the matter at all. It doesn't sound stupid at all. You don't want to be king? Why not? That sounds incredibly whiny. No, she understands this completely. Just like she never wanted to be Queen of Orzammar, Balin had nothing to worry about from Artin. She would have, to be perfectly honest, if after her father died and the Dwarven Assembly were like, we want to put you on the throne, she would have supported her little brother. She would have done. Because she had a much closer relationship to him than she did Trian. And the fact that the throne effectively destroyed her family from her regards, it was Balin's desire to be king that screwed everything up, that made him think she was a threat. So yeah, she understands Alistair completely. It doesn't sound stupid at all.
For all the good it does me, my blood seems certain to haunt me no matter what I do. I guess I should be thankful that Al-Eamon is far more likely to inherit the throne. If he's alright. Oh, I hope he's alright. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. I guess I was just hoping that you would like me for who I am. It was a dumb thing to do.
Apology accepted. Like you for who you are. You're kidding, right? I do like you, and not because of your blood. Don't worry about it, Alistair. No harm done. I do like you, and not because of your blood.
Oh. You see, I didn't know that. I guess it's kind of a relief that you know now. Let's go.
Rightio then. Good talk, Alistair, buddy. And Thorin?
Your dog is filthy. I can smell him 50 yards off.
Hurt wine. Good. He will fell our enemies with his stench. I'm sure you're exaggerating. Oh. I do like number 1. It amuses me. And I do think that Alistair has kind of been rubbing off on Artin. I have noticed she's been joking a bit more with him recently. But I don't think she'd go that far. I'm sure you're exaggerating.
That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Bathe? Can't you just wave your staff and make him clean? Can't you just not smell him? He's a warhound, not some pampered and powdered lapdog. Go ahead, he is getting a little rank. Like, when was the last time we bathed Thorin? Like, has he ever had a bath? He has been rolling around in, like, darkspawn innards. Yeah, he probably could do with one. Go ahead, he is getting a little rank. Disapproving whine.
Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
Whimpers. Oh, puppy, it isn't so bad. Everyone needs baths. Everyone needs to smell good. Otherwise, we can't have friends. Now then, that is everyone spoken to. I actually do have some stuff in my inventory that I could get rid of. So I think, just so that I don't start off the next episode having to talk to Bodan, I think I'll do that now.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me.
Let me see your wares, Bodan.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Thank you very much. There was actually something I wanted to see. Yes, I never looked at the boots Bodan was selling. And you know what? I'm gonna grab them. They're really good. And Artin's been wearing the same shoes since the beginning of the game. I think she deserves an upgrade. Sten, my dear. Neither of those are better, but I could save the Chase and Flatblade. I think I will. That has sentimental value. These can all go. Morrigan and Wynne. Don't think either of these are better. Nope. Shale. That is better, but you don't have the strength, so I'll save it. That can go. This can go. This can go. Let me just check. Yep, didn't sell anything I didn't mean to. This can go. These can all go. Now then, Alistair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's got something better. Again, just want to check I didn't sell anything I didn't mean to. I'm feeling slightly paranoid today. Yep, this is all good. Now then. I think what I might actually do is, in between episodes, I'm gonna just try and sort out everyone's accessories. Just so that everyone has what I think is best. That can go. Deathroot Extract, Lesser Nature Salve. Nothing in here that I want. These can go. And the Malachite. Yep, there we go. That's that. And I'll read this codex. Bard's Dancing Shoes. The rules of the Grand Game are clear. Anything goes. If a noble cannot obtain the heights of prestige in the court by purchase, allegiance, or deed, he can always obtain it by removing his rivals. In this, bards have always been invaluable. Orlesians cannot do without music and dancing. Even when they know that half the musicians in their ballroom are spies in the employ of their enemies, they welcome the scoundrels with open arms. In fact, that makes music and musicians so much more popular, for it makes the game more exciting. Okay, there we go. As I said, in between episodes, I'm gonna just have a little rejig of everyone's accessories. I'll show you what I've done afterwards. Liliana, I think. Ooh. Dodge attacks, avoid missile attacks. Severan, what do you have? I think I'd rather have Liliana with the lion's paws. There we go. So yes, in between episodes, I'll rejig everyone's accessories, and then we will be on to the next main quest. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Kallista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.